Hachi, Haichi, Haichi ho. Hachi, Haichi, Haichi ho. Hey mama, hey mama, hey, hey, hey. Hey mama, hey mama, hey, hey, hey. Do you guys really know the real us?
The ghost of Tony is back to haunt this episode.
Waking up your noose. Waking up your noose.
Yeah,
That's right.
baby.
I don't know how to
Hold
hit
on,
the...
I wasn't finished.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Okay.
In this episode, some of our discourse concerns orthodox theology and praxis. While we are continually committed to exploring these topics with discretion and care, it is crucial to emphasize that none of our discussions constitute formal teaching or carry any authoritative weight whatsoever. If you have questions or concerns about any aspect of the Orthodox faith, please talk to your priest. Our podcast serves as a platform for open dialogue and exploration, but personal spiritual discernment and, most of all, guidance from a spiritual father are paramount.
It is later than you think.
You're on the air.
Yep.
You know, this thing happens. This thing happens. Every single time I sit down to do a podcast, my voice gets higher and higher and higher. And it's almost like if you know how like girls whenever they try to do a deep voice, it's always really airy. That's how I feel like my evening voice.
Yeah.
Like I should probably smoke like 4 cigarettes and get a terrible night's sleep the night before every podcast recording.
Yeah, that's similar to what happens to me if there's ever like a bully at work that I have to stand up to. Right when I go to him to like confront him and be like, "Hey, that's not cool." I actually poop my pants every single time.
It's like right beforehand.
Yeah, no, like during, like while I'm talking to him, and he's always like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, bro, did you?" And I have to run off. So my voice is still good and deep, but put up a parking lot. Pave Paradise, put up a parking lot. That's applicable there.
What does that mean?
It's a song by Los Lonely Boys, or perhaps Rob
Pave
Thomas.
Paradise and put up a parking lot.
Is that right? I think that's them. No. Enrique Iglesias. It's one of these Hispanic people.
Is that the guy who's not fat? He's fluffy.
Yeah. And he's always like, "Welcome to my TV show."
And there's like, low rider.
Different song. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
George Lopez. It's a little higher.
All right. What else?
Don't worry. You can still relax. This is just Patreon stuff.
This is for the Patreon.
Trollface is a hot one right now. Like, I try to keep my finger on the pulse of just new trends and stuff, and I get it. I'm not making a joke about, oh, that's a really old meme. It is back with a vengeance.
I don't think it is.
You haven't seen this? You've seen this.
You've seen this. I thought you were making a joke that it was old, but
I was at first,
but you
and then I
messed it up
realized
because then you called it out. It's like
no, so that joke's not
the
actually
magician
funny.
revealing his trick.
That joke hasn't been funny probably since the first time that I did it. I do it compulsively, where I'm like, Gangnam Style. I realize it. It's more like a, what did you say that thing is?
That one wasn't going to be that bad, but then you stopped the train. You pulled it to a screeching stop.
Yeah, well, you live, you learn, you live and learn.
You laugh, you love.
What was the thing that you were saying that you picked up from your friend where he does some sort of motion? He does,
yeah. Well, he does, like, specifically his hands go down like this. It's almost like praying mantis style.
Yeah.
And, like, he'll like, assert things like this, and we always thought it was funny, but...
If you listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my version of that is always going back to the same tired joke about somebody do the Harlem Shake.
Yeah. Or
everybody and their mom is talking about Crazy Frog or whatever.
Yeah.
And it hasn't gotten a laugh in the last, like, 4 years.
Yeah.
But I keep trying it, and it's like, it's getting sad.
Yeah, it's almost like, if we could just overanalyze it real quick, it's almost like the problem with it is that it's a little bit too, it's like you're picking things too far. It's like not subtle enough, I guess, but it's
so
like...
you're saying it should be more like, Trying to catch me white and nerdy. Trying to catch me white and nerdy.
No,
I am so white and
it
nerdy.
doubles. So remember when we were talking about the meta irony and all that kind of stuff, where there's different layers. That's where it's funny. It's getting funny on its backside. You know what I mean? Like,
it's circling back around.
It's
to being
circling
funny.
back around to being funny.
So let me. I think the most important thing that I want to convey is you might not be really grasping the gravity of how much it pains me to still be doing this, because I don't want to be doing these jokes. And so when I do it again for like the 1,000th time, and I look, people don't laugh, and I look at them like, I don't want to be doing
This either.
any of this.
Yeah.
Any of this.
I guess
And
it's
in
kind
my
of like,
I'm the guy from like what plays in my head is he's going the distance. That's me. Like I'll never let up. I'm white knuckling the thing, and I'm driving. I'm striving. I'm hugging the turns.
yeah.
That's me. I'm thinking of someone for whom I still burn, and it's like, what trauma instilled in me the compulsion to do this joke again about Gangnam Style?
You're like that. You're like the character on that. I think you should leave. We can say whatever the hell we want, right?
I'm the guy.
You're the guy who's like, after he walks back out after cussing and a bunch or whatever, saying a bunch of cusses, he goes back out, and his mom's like, "Did you make any friends?"
Yeah, not really.
Not really. But you're
I'm not trying to make anyone have a worse day at their job.
Yeah, but you're saying I'm not trying to be cringe. Really, I'm not. But
Cringe is all that I know.
did you listen to Gangnam Style?
Have you seen this YouTube video called White and Nerdy? Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It reminds me of what we said earlier. Reminds me of me and my buddies used to have. We kind of like we had normal getting along and telling jokes and having fun, but then we almost like got too bored of telling normal jokes and laughing. Like it was like inflation, like funny inflation. So we had to like come up with different things, and eventually we tried not laughing at each other's jokes. Like that was a phase. We were like, for months, we were like actively like, hey, let's not laugh at each other's jokes anymore. Let's try to like give each other the cold shoulder or whatever, right? That's not what I was trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. But then it got to a point where we were like, this is actually hurtful. Like this is just harmful to us internally. Like we're doing it to each other, and we're just choosing to like make each other self-conscious, and it's bad. So we stopped doing that, right? Because the one of us would really go out on a limb and say something that ordinarily we'd both crack
like
up
Shrek,
at, and then you would just
like
get
pizza. Yeah.
Then you just get nothing in return, and it just like demoralized us both. So we stopped that. But then we started showing, we would label a joke, and we'd be like, oh, that was a 10 out of 10, or that was a 4 out of 10, or that was a whatever, right? And we would do that by like showing where we are funny-wise, right? So this is high funny, high morale. This is low morale, right? And anywhere in between. And we were like, the worst joke is a 4 or a 5, because they're actually not funny.
Yeah.
A 1 or a 2 or a 0 is funny because it's unfunny. A 10 is funny because it's really funny. But if you hit like a solid 4, it's like, ooh, that was
you really tried.
bad.
Yeah, you were shooting for something in those upper numbers, but instead you got caught in what's called the unfunny valley. You don't want that.
Exactly.
That's what you don't want.
The dude's name is John, and he would get to a point in real time. I was getting real-time feedback, like an instantaneous feedback loop of how funny I was being or how happy he was from my show, whatever my jester thing was, right?
Yeah.
And I would be doing my thing or telling this joke, and he'd be like, all right, all right. and then I'd say something and mess up, and he'd be like, down here.
Yeah.
But then because he did that, I would laugh, and then he
would
would laugh.
Yeah.
And it just kept going up and down, because then we'd laugh so much that we got over it, and it's not funny anymore. But then as soon as he started lowering his hand again, it was funny, because we picked up on, we're watching, it's like constant, never-ending
feedback loop there.
Yeah. We got trapped in it. Is that worth it? Is that relevant? Is that a good story?
No,
please tell me it was a good story.
So probably like a 4, if I'm being honest.
Well, it's cursed world.
It's
problems.
the cursed world's problems. It's our cursed world. Welcome to our cursed world.
We only hope that you don't walk away more cursed than when you came.
Mm-hmm.
And so today, we figured, We've had a couple of good episodes. We've
Yeah,
had
I'm
a
a
good
nice
run.
enough guy. I'm a nice enough guy. I'm a
guy.
nice enough guy. I'm a good
But
guy.
does our audience really know us?
Yeah, does our audience really know us?
Yeah. Does our audience really know us?
Yeah, do they know even me? Do they know me from a pizza pie? Who's to say? Let's find out.
Let's find out. So we decided we were going to do a little bit of, just get a little bit personal tonight. Just feeling like a little bit sentimental. Just feeling like they should really know the real us.
Yeah.
So we have selected.
Let's start over. Let's do that over again.
All right, let's do that.
All right,
Oh,
let's do
you
it
really
over.
didn't want to keep the.
Yeah, I hate it so much. I was just
Tony.
dwelling on it. Yeah. You're the guy behind the editing controls, so I'm really at your mercy. But if you'd like to, let's give it a fresh shot. We'll give it a fresh shot. We'll just give it a clean slate. Us just laughing and carrying on. A little bit of horsing around, a little bit of horseplay. Never hurt anyone. But if you really want the inside track here, what we were discussing before we went live, before we started rolling, was sometimes you gotta take a break from all the heavy hitting stuff, from all the we gotta talk about politics, culture, religion, what have you, and you gotta say, let's toss the ball around, let's have fun.
Let's have fun. It's exactly that. It's like
Yeah.
the recess. This is a recess.
Recess, baby.
Recess. So we thought about what better way to get to know, well, us than to do some personality quizzes.
Let's do personality quizzes. I've got one queued up. So we're titling this episode, Who Are We?
Who are we?
Yeah, who are we? You know, what right do we have?
Yeah.
So what I have here is I'm not going to tell you what the quiz is. You're going to answer the
not?
questions. That's
Okay.
right.
Interesting.
And then I'm going to tell you the answer, and you'll probably be able to guess what the quiz is.
I guess.
We'll see.
I was just thinking. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. First question.
This is gonna be hilarious.
Don't-
First question: if you were going to be sorted into a Harry Potter house,
If you would like to be in one of the houses of Hogwarts, which one would it be?
all right, go ahead.
And it's a one-question
Yeah.
quiz. Yeah. Okay. So the first question, Kyle.
Mm.
You just audibly gulp. All right. I like your spirit. You just adopted a black cat. What do you name it? And it's multiple choice. Merlin, Luna, Onyx, Moon, Jupiter, Bob.
Oh man, random. I'm definitely pretty random. I'm going with Bob.
Oh, yeah. He's going with Bob. You're random for
I was
that
gonna
one.
say Spook, but Bob is good.
I don't think Spook was one of the options.
Next question,
Okay,
please.
next question. Your bestie wants to get a matching tattoo. Do you agree?
Yes.
Well, there's 4 options, actually.
Okay.
We already have a matching tattoo is number 1. Number 2, it depends on what it is. Number 3, of course. Number 4, I'm not so sure.
Number 4. I'm pensive,
Okay.
apprehensive.
What could you give a 4-hour impromptu lecture on? Books, a Netflix series, exercise, music, animals.
A 4-hour impromptu. I'm gonna say aminals. Easy.
All right, animals. Okay. Your favorite song is playing. What do you do? Sing along, scream, dance along, sit quietly to digest the lyrics fully, lay down, cry probably.
Ooh. Probably. Probably sing along.
Okay, how many questions are there?
This is really starting to become a drag.
All right. Are you creative? Yes, I'm known for my creativity. Sometimes. I used to be, or no.
Yes.
There's way too many questions. This is such a bad idea. This is
my
question number
gosh,
11.
dude.
Which outfit would you rock? I'll pick
Oh,
one for you.
no.
I think we got enough. I think we got enough here.
We're crashing and burning.
We're crashing so hard. All right. Okay. Your result? Blink 182.
Yes.
Nice, dude.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations.
So the quiz that you picked for me was, what punk band are you?
Which pop punk band are you?
Nice. All right.
Okay.
Tom DeLonge. The list goes on.
Yep. The
Thomas
whole gang.
Harry. The guy that replaced Tom DeLonge.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah. Boy, I think it's admirable that we rolled the dice on that.
It is admirable. Now it's my turn. All right.
Wait.
Are you guys interested in knowing the real Justin? Let's start.
Okay.
If your friend was about to fight 1-on-3, what would you do?
Can you tell me more about the three guys?
They're big, massive muscles.
Big and where is this? Like what city?
If it started as a 1-on-1 when you started to have the upper hand,
And then the other two
came in after
the
him.
alleyway or something.
Yeah, or like
Okay.
they were just standing around watching just until you got them in a headlock,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
you start getting.
Say no more, fam. What was the question? What would I do?
Yeah, what would you do?
All right. What are the options?
Take all three of them by yourself. This is if your friend was in that situation. Would you take all three of them by yourself, run and help them right away, 2v3? Ignore it. It ain't worth my attention. Pretend like I can take them even though I can't. Help him, but I would be afraid.
Yeah.
Ask if, may I cut in?
Is that one of them?
You better beat them. You're screaming from the side. You better beat them.
Yeah.
Which one would you choose? What would you do? Hurry.
Okay.
Time's running out. He's getting beat. The snot's getting beat out.
Oh,
of him.
okay. All right. I'm jumping in. I'm taking all three of them.
You're taking all three of them?
Easy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, next. If there was a bomb, what would you do? Reassure people and try to disarm it? Can we get someone in on this bomb?
We need a doctor.
Exactly.
Is there a doctor in the
I
house?
don't want to help, but the people I care about just might die. Secure the area.
That's it. That's the one. The people I love might just die. That sounds like me.
All right. If there was a world martial arts tournament, would you enter?
Is it a yes or no?
Yeah, would you
Oh,
enter?
yeah.
No. It's I'll try. Let's hope nothing goes wrong. I'll defeat all of you. Guys, I'm gonna sit this one out. Makes the best man make the best man win.
Yeah, I gotta make the best man win.
All right, click again. Next. Under what circumstances will you kill? I'm doing this out of revenge. Somebody kill them for me. I wouldn't kill because I wouldn't be strong enough. If the person doesn't deserve to die, I won't kill him.
I'm thinking this is like a how strong are you quiz.
To ensure that no one else gets hurt, you'll kill. I'll make it quick and painless. That's a circumstance under which you would kill.
Yeah.
I would only kill if I really had to.
I would only kill if I really had to. That's actually one of my rules.
All right. Blank takes away my focus. Attractive women. Food. I will not allow myself to be distracted. Beautiful girls. My loved ones. Nothing takes away my focus.
So can we go back to options 1 and 4? Was it attractive women and beautiful girls?
And then
Okay.
also 3 and 6. I will not allow myself to be distracted, and nothing takes away my focus.
Yeah.
And then almost anything is the last answer.
Yeah, attractive women in your dreams, bimbo.
Yeah, true.
Beautiful little girls. I'm listening.
Go on. All right. Is that the one you want?
I really.
Food.
Yeah, that's it. I'm always self-disciplined, but if you wave a cupcake in front of my face, I'm like, oh, Tom's hungry.
Is winning everything? Answer 1. I've never won anything. It has to be a fair earned victory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sneak attack, I win. I will earn up to my name. I'll win if I have to. I doubt I'll win to begin with, but I can try.
Okay, I'll win if I have to. Okay.
All right. What is your super move?
Hmm.
I'm just going to give you a few options
Give me
here.
a few.
Slap, Wolf Fang Fist, Big Bang Attack, Monsenko.
Big Bang Attack.
And would you prefer to fly or ride or transport?
Transport.
Well, the question is, would you prefer to fly or ride? The acceptable answers are ride, transport, or fly.
Okay. Yeah, I like this quiz. Who's out there writing the quizzes? Because,
Some scholar.
yeah. What was the first one?
Ride.
Fly? Ride.
Ride
Yeah,
or
I would
die.
rather ride.
All right. 2 more questions here.
Okay.
Are you short or tall?
Tall.
Tall.
Yeah, really tall.
And last question. It is a picture question.
These go hard.
All right, after all of that. Whoa, I couldn't have expected any better. Your answer is Krillin. You are Krillin.
I said I was tall.
While may have slight confidence in yourself, sometimes you worry whether if you really need to fight a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing wrong with staying home and chilling like a Krillin.
Yeah, you worry whether if you even need to fight a fight.
While you may have slight confidence in yourself.
I do have slight confidence in myself, but I sometimes worry whether if I need to fight a fight. Okay.
And that about does it for this episode, folks.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Don't
Thanks
forget
for
to
watching.
pop that like button.
Don't forget to slap that like button. Well, that was about as painful as it could have been.
It was a bad.
I don't think I'm going to be able to fix that, but I will try.
It was a good idea. That it was a good idea.
I think it'll go fine.
Yeah,
I think it's
it'll
going to go fine, and I'll fix it in post. So, turns out I'm Blink-182, and Justin is Krillin.
Yep. What's up? I'm Krillin. It's a Cursed World podcast.
Does that answer your questions? Next segment. What's your regimen?
So in the mornings, I got a sup stack that I try to bust out like the second I come downstairs for a little drinky poo. I go 2 aspirin, 5 milligrams creatine, tablespoon of coconut oil, and a sugar-free Monster Energy drink. Normally it's like that Sunrise, whatever, the orange can.
And is it true that you truly don't really enjoy a nice cup of coffee that much?
It's not that I don't like it. It's more of like I never feel excited about it. I can kind of take it or leave it. If someone makes me a cup of coffee, I'm like, oh, sweet. But I don't get that burst of joy that like normal people like yourself.
But you
Probably get.
ever done it like you've had a good cup of coffee, right?
Yeah, I've had some good cups of coffee.
Like cream, sugar, and
Mm-hmm.
hazelnut or something like that. I don't really do like flavors. I think that's kind of stupid.
Yeah,
A little bit gay.
a little bit.
Not really though, but like if you do flavors in your coffee, that's fine. Honestly, it's just I don't know. Kind of would rather not have any. Like I just want coffee. You know.
Coffee does taste good. It tastes good because it tastes interesting, and I can't explain it beyond that. But some people place a high premium on like a warm, cozy beverage. Like, oh, I want to go sledding, and then I want hot cocoa. In my head, I'm like, that does not jazz me up.
It's
I have
just so
nothing
weird.
against it.
No,
I
that's
just,
fine.
yeah.
I know you're saying you're not knocking it, but it's so weird that it doesn't do something for you. That's like somebody saying that they're like asexual or something.
Yeah,
Like it just doesn't fit in my brain.
yeah. I like
I'm
a hot
very
bath.
sexual. I'm very sexual.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand somebody who's not.
Don't get me started on how sexual this guy is.
So, your morning routine, got a little bit of creatine, got a little bit of aspironi.
Mm-hmm.
What about your I was thinking about this earlier today. What's the regimen to like? Do you have any regimen to like stay hard? Not, you know what I mean.
Well, I
Like
got to
hard,
get there
like
first, man.
like resolve, like hard in spirit, like
Oh,
be
okay.
a hard, like David Goggins hard, you know.
Yeah, everyone keeps talking about this David Goggins. I have never heard him speak. I don't know what he looks like. Couldn't pick him out of a lineup. So that's just.
He's the type of guy. He's very urban.
Does he wear goggles? He sounds like someone who wears
He
goggles.
has like airplane goggles. He's almost like
That's why they call him that.
exactly.
Okay.
He's got this urban vibe to him. No body fat.
He's urban.
And he's the type of guy that like if you
I
were
didn't know,
in a
okay.
fight with him
Maybe I have
and you
seen
got
him.
the upper hand, never mind.
Yeah.
You would never get the upper hand.
But he's urban like Terry Crews
yeah.
or urban like Jason Statham.
Urban like Darius Rucker.
All right. Let me just to confirm we're on the right track. He's urban like
Not Keith Urban.
Keith Urban?
Nope.
Or he's urban like the Fresh Prince Will Smith.
More like that. Yeah.
A little bit more like that. Okay. Yeah. I'll check him out.
So I was just talking about this with another guy. Our sound guy actually. And he was talking about he just stopped watching, or they like took the TV out of their house or something like that, which is awesome. We should probably do the same. We do a little bit too much TV, a little bit too much folding of the hands.
Mm-hmm.
And we were discussing it, and he was saying that since we stopped, I've noticed that like my I'm like getting a little bit less desensitized to stuff. Like, you know, he used to be subscribed to a bunch of like cop profiles and like what did this bad guy do wrong, and like camera footage of like people getting shot and stuff like that. Now he doesn't. And he was like, yeah, it's giving me a little bit more feeling of those things, like a little bit of the gravity of the situation. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But it brought me to my personal philosophy, which I've never really, like, I've gotten to discuss with people, but usually it's women, and they don't really get it. They're like, well, you just shouldn't watch that stuff. I have this personal philosophy, which I don't think anybody's really ever going to be able to convince me otherwise. It's not like I'm unreasonable. I just think that I'm most right. But I think as a man, not as a woman or a child, but as a man, especially if you have a family, but either way, you should have a healthy exposure to bad guys and violence and people getting killed and blood and stuff like that. Not, I have to say this, not purposely going out and seeking stuff per se. Right? Not getting on 4chan and going to like watch a bunch of gore stuff of people being like beheaded and like just for the purpose of not for that, right? But if it comes across your timeline, it's like there's something in me at least that's like, if I can't handle this, I don't know. I think it's not. It's like you have to be comfortable enough that you in a real situation, if something happened, that you wouldn't like shrink away and like be paralyzed with fear or adrenaline or something like that. There's only so much you can do before something terrible happens to prepare yourself for the potential for something terrible to happen. And people talk about stress inoculation and like doing jujitsu and specifically like combat jujitsu where they slap you in the face and stuff like that while you're like, so that you have to get comfortable with people putting 300 pounds of their body right into your chest and you can't breathe and they're really hurting you, and like you have to be comfortable with that. Or on the other hand, like medical like trauma stuff, if you like happen upon a car wreck and somebody's flipped upside down in the car and you can see that their face is swelling up and their eyelids are like getting puffy and they're still conscious, and like a normal person who shelters themselves from that very natural, like, I don't like looking at that stuff, might not have what it takes to go and do anything about it if something like that happens, or if somebody's bleeding all over the place, or if somebody gets shot, or if an accident happens and like somebody like shards of glass cut somebody's like you have to. Maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh or something, but like if you can't handle that, you like should be doing something
Well,
about that.
maybe
You should be doing something about that. How about that? That's a pretty soft way to put
Yeah,
it.
something.
You should be working toward being able to handle that.
Yeah, because I'm not going to disagree with you publicly. I actually don't have a position on the very first proposition that you made about like inoculating yourself through exposure to things online or whatever. I haven't developed an opinion. I don't feel like I can put one together right away. Probably have to think about it. But I can
fire from the hip.
I can't fire from the hip on that. I'm going to keep that in the chamber. I'm going to pull the other one though because you weren't expecting it. And I'm going to say for your second proposition that you should be doing something about it. 1,000% agree. 100% even. And one of the things you can probably do is go hunting.
Yeah.
Because look, it may not be the Lord's will for you to expose yourself to people getting their limbs blown off and stuff in real life. Or I mean like through
you say
internet.
May or may not be.
No, I'm saying may not. It's not. I don't think. But I could be wrong.
Not purposely. But if you live in a world where every other man for the rest of human history behind you, up until the last 100 years or so or whatever, like has witnessed horrific things as a part of his life, people die, and like things happen and war happens, and like you're just taking yourself out of the fight and making yourself less useful if anything ever happens. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to like cause myself turmoil.
Yeah.
And I think that there is obviously, I shouldn't have to say this, but I do because people take it whatever way they want. There is a line. I'm not saying there's no line. And everybody has a threshold, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't just expect yourself to be able to psychologically handle stuff without like trauma or whatever. But I'm saying like, I'm sure there's a healthiest way to do it, and the healthiest way to do it is probably to actually go to a class and like go to like a combat trauma class or something and like sign up and like learn what blood looks like and all. There's a healthiest way to do it, but also it's like I don't know. It's just I was just thinking about it, and I'm like I'm not so sure it's such a bad thing. That's really my only take.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a good
not so
take.
sure it's such a bad thing.
Yeah.
To see violence come across your timeline and be like. A mom might say, be careful, little eyes, what you see, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, I've got a duty to be able to, not freeze if somebody gets, pulls out a gun or something like that.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
And I'm not saying that I'm like, would definitely have what it takes. But I definitely wouldn't have what it takes if I'm like purposely like not ever seeing any of that.
Yeah, I'm more of like a Krillin type where like I'll run to the fight. I'll win if I need to.
Yeah.
But it's interesting you brought up
Maybe
that
it was
stuff.
a little bit too deep for this episode. But.
No, it's good. It is interesting that you brought it up because I talked with a guy at work who's like veteran, but he's not old. He's like in his 30s. And he was telling me, just out of nowhere, he was saying, you got to have a knife and a flashlight on you at all times. And I'll tell you why. And he said a few months ago, he was driving down the road and he saw this car with its four-ways on, like following another car that was just kind of drifting off of the road and up onto this embankment. And then the car with the four-ways was like following it. And he's like, wonder what that's about. He got out. He saw that it was this lady who was having like a seizure behind the wheel. And then he tried to open her car door, but because the car was still in drive, it locked him out. And he was like, I got to go back to my truck and get something to do, something to get in here. And then he realized, I got my knife on me and it has a window breaker. He did it. He got in there, unlocked it or whatever. I can't remember if the flashlight came into play or not, but he was able to get her head upright and stuff so that she wasn't slumped over and anything. And he was like, yeah, the cop showed up like 5 minutes later. So I feel like if I wasn't able to get into that car, her in that position, she could be dead before they got there. And he needed to tell me that story. So there's a little bit of trauma just in hearing it. I don't want to see that. I don't want to think about it. But my revulsion to it is like, well, what if I was in his shoes? And I walked up and I'm like, she's having a seizure. Ah!
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what? What matters is that you got your knife, and that you got your flashlight, and that you at least have thought through these things. And then I think maybe it is between you and yourself and your family and God to be like, what level of preparedness is it going to take for me to have a little bit of that exposure? I can get on board with that. I just don't know. I don't know how to parse it with like the unnatural nature of instantly available media of any type of thing you can imagine.
Yeah.
Like that's still this thing that I'm having trouble contending with.
But it's still I mean, the media part is one thing, pulling it up on your phone, but is it really much different from like gladiators and stuff like that? Like people have been exposed to this forever and going to it willingly, and public hangings. Like you think you'd be able to handle a public hanging? And that was like not even 100 years ago that stuff was going on.
I'll be the one to pull the lever, man. If he deserved it and he was a lifelong criminal, I'll be the one to pull the lever. I'm ready to get busy.
But I'm just saying.
that is a
great.
direct quote from a guy at the very, very tail end of Boondock Saints.
That's great.
Yeah,
that was
I'm ready to
fantastic.
get busy.
That was a fantastic.
Thanks. Super chat came in, by the way. I don't know if
Super chat?
now's the time. Yeah, just like while I was doing nobody super chatted while you were talking, but then once I did, this guy was like, "How about 100, Justin? You're killing it." Who else?
Will Smith.
Nope.
Steenie Travis.
Steenie Travis has sent us $100 for this episode, which is going to. Come on. Please.
Oh, sorry.
Steenie
Was
Travis.
I doing that out loud?
Well, maybe just please give me another shot. Steenie Travis, say, give me $100. All right. Yes, nice. I'm back. I'm so back. 10?
10.
Nice. All right. So he actually super chatted us, and he wanted to say, episode's going great. Dude, don't lose morale. You guys are my heroes. I wouldn't be alive if it weren't for this show. This is the greatest show on the internet. Period.
Tenacious D, was that the Tenacious D guy?
Yeah, that was Tenacious D.
So what was I saying before Steenie Travis so rudely introducted?
I don't know. Gladiator.
Oh yeah, Gladiator. That stuff was happening, or public hangings. That's what it was.
Public hangings.
It's like, of course, it's disturbing, but I think we're built to withstand a certain amount of disturbing. We live in a fallen world, and terrible stuff happens. And what are you if you can't like stomach, like, because if there didn't exist a type of person who sets that stuff aside in order to get a job done, like that dude that you just mentioned, no one would ever be saved. Nothing would ever happen. Nothing good. There would never. It's the same thing as like guns. Like you can easily say, well, I'll just leave it to the professionals. They'll take care of it. Somebody is doing that job. Doesn't have to be me. But you're just taking one more good guy out of the fight. Like, there's always going to be bad guys. There's always going to be bad guys with guns. There's always going to be like criminals. But there isn't. You're not granted the same level of security in there always being some good guy that like cares enough or knows what he's doing or whatever. So like you're just taking one more dog out of the fight for the good guys. So like, I don't know. I see it. It's like, obviously there's stuff of more importance and high stakes, and it goes all the way down to the low stakes stuff. Like always keep a knife on you because you never know when you're gonna have to cut somebody's seatbelt off them or whatever, right?
And always leave a note.
I
mean, if you're gonna finish the milk in the fridge or something,
exactly.
Bad things can happen. Always leave a note. That's really important. And then always keep the knife. And then, like you said, be ready to handle business. Try to put yourself in that mindset of there's not always going to be, a robust police response. Because especially if you watch...
you shouldn't depend on that only.
Right. We should watch more Clint Eastwood movies and stuff where the townspeople are, like, begging him to stay. They're like, we don't got nobody else.
Yeah.
I'm the sheriff technically, but really I'm not a lawman. I don't want to deal with this. That guy's scary.
Yeah.
And he turns around and he's like, what's in it for me? Or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. That's why we resonate with that, because we're like, I think something in us tells us this security is not, it's an illusion. It's a bubble. There's a security bubble. There's a personal security bubble. And every so often it bursts. They take the virus stuff. I don't want to say the thing because eventually maybe they do a little censorship or whatever. But this era that we just sort of are winding down, coming out of, a lot of people realized that the global supply chain was a lot more sensitive.
Oh, you can't say that.
Oh, my bad. A lot of people were finding out that there was a precarious... Yeah.
You could.
The schmobilus.
Yeah. The Shlomo, the
Schlobulus.
Globetrotters.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to be, Albert Epstein to say Einstein to know what we're talking about. So I don't have to say it.
Yeah,
but during this time, people realize like, oh, this, gas doesn't come from the gas station. Milk doesn't come from the grocery store. There's these things are real and they come from places and they take, massive feats of engineering and also like intricate little economies and markets all working together seamlessly, and then actual labor to do it and actual resources.
Yeah.
And it's this unfathomably complex system that no one person understands, even like 1% of 1% of it. They only know their tiny little sliver of the pie. And then way back I remember when Hurricane Katrina happened and there was all this outcry of like, why didn't the government respond this way or do this or whatever? And granted, yeah, maybe they could have done, I don't know. I don't know the civil engineering aspect of if they would have fortified the dams earlier and this and that. That's all bureaucratic, just business as usual, where you can blame it on the Republicans, blame it on the Democrats. The fact is no one had a vested interest. No one had a profit incentive to handle any of these longstanding problems. But my main point is when it actually came, they're like, why didn't they save us? And it's like, save you from a massive, massive natural disaster, save you from planet Earth, save you from Mother Nature, save you from floodwaters. Like, that's where the bubble bursts and you go, oh, it really is up to me. This is my body, my family. I'm responsible for it. Yeah. I have to look both ways before I cross the street because no legislation is going to stop me from getting hit by the bus. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that type of mindset is the step one for just exiting the matrix of comfortable lullaby, watching this 49ers play or looking at your Snapchat or whatever, or eating your Uncrustable, or any combination of the three.
They've all forgotten death. Yeah. Well, that's why I make it a part. Well, that's why I brought it up. I don't know if I ever actually connected the dots. Regimen. That's part of my regimen.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, again, I'm not seeking it out, but like I take it upon myself to make sure that I know what it looks like whenever somebody gets shot 7 times in the chest and they're still coming at you, right?
Yeah.
That's a thing. That's a thing that happens. And if you think that you can just carry around a gun or something like that and like shoot a bad guy down or whatever, I don't know. It's like it's naive, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that guy was
but
just
I don't
saying
really
that.
know anything. I'm just a
You know what we should do? That guy, I'm not going to name drop him here because he might want privacy or whatever, but that guy I was talking to, really cool dude, and he actually runs a dojo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in Frederick. So we could go. He said he had to shut it down for a little bit because he moved, so I think it's connected to his house. It's like karate and also like weapons and stuff with it, so learning how to defend against weapons.
Okay.
If you got a knife and they got a gun,
video?
if they have a knife and you don't have anything, that type of thing.
Do you think it's fun to watch videos of like black belts in karate, like women black belts in karate going up against untrained men? It's kind of like the same level entertainment value of like dogs and monkeys videos.
You watch Dogs and Monkeys?
Mm-hmm. They're the best combo of animal hanging out together.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Well, okay, so to answer your first question, because I don't just want to disregard it, no, but I think I already know what I'm in for, so I can just imagine it and get the same entertainment value.
Yeah.
But number 2, I had a fantastic business concept. I'm going to let the viewers in on this at the ground floor if they want to seed investment money or whatever. Okay. We all know it's in bad taste. Dog fighting. It's kind of not in vogue anymore. Mm-hmm. People turn their noses up or
just the last couple years it's been kind of fading out. I think they're phasing it out.
People don't like that as much, okay? In this new woke libtard woke, they don't like starving dogs and have them fighting or whatever, okay? Yeah. Look, I thought this was America. My point is I don't do that. So just to be clear, I've never done that. No comment. But you know what's actually not in bad taste? Cats. And cats are fantastic fighters. They are natural predators and they're natural fighters. And I have 3 cats. And when they fight, I'm thinking about the angles. I'm like, if I did a close-up, these moves are better than what you would see on, Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Because these cats, their instincts, they're so much quicker than like how a person would be. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You're feeling it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know though. I've seen bears fight each other. That's awesome. I've seen lions fight each other. I guess I think so. Yeah, lion versus lion. But usually it's like more like, no, I think I've seen it. Dogs. Everybody's seen dogs fight.
have
But
you ever
like
seen a man?
cats, house cats? I don't know, man.
Let me ask you: have you ever seen a man eat his own head? This is just me trying to up the energy level again.
My regimen, you're asking?
Yeah, I meant to ask earlier. What's your regimen in the morning?
My morning regimen, I'm actually changing it up. I go back and forth. It's freaking hard, dude. There's a lot of studying that goes into this stuff. I'm not cut out for it. Maybe if I were a younger man, no. Maybe if I had like more of an attention span or something, like I'm just looking for right now, at least at this point in my life, I'm looking for the easiest, surefire way to make me a ultra muscle hunk. And with zero gut issues and never have diarrhea again, and be able to tie my shoes and get a girlfriend, and all of those things, right? Simple.
Why wouldn't you want that? I mean, at this point in your life, you're young, handsome.
Yeah, exactly. So I did for a while. I was doing like the daily Ray Pete type protocol, where it was like aspirin and a raw carrot salad and a little bit of vitamin E oil with some pregnenolone mixed up in there, and dissolve it under your tongue. What else did I do? That was basically it. Oh, coconut. Well, yeah, coconut oil. Let's just throw that in the carrot salad. Did that for a while. Been taking more of a break. Every once in a while, every couple of days, I'll do it the full thing. Otherwise, I just kind of do like coffee with cream and sugar. But actually, I just got something. I just got a couple other supplements that I'm trying out. We'll see how it pans out for me. What about your spiritual regimen?
Spiritual reg.
Mine's not very consistent. I'm always changing it up. I'm going through an undisciplined phase right now.
Yeah, a little leaven leavens the whole loaf. So let me explain in context what I mean, which might not necessarily mean what the originator of that meant. But when I think about it, I'm like, we can focus on all the ways we're undisciplined and all the things we don't have in order, but identifying the one way that we're getting a little bit of traction. So if you're like, well, compared to 3 months ago, I generally remember to pray spontaneously during the day for myself, for others, just to remind myself that God is in and through all things and he is ever present. That is a massive improvement. If you can say, I generally think about that now like 5 or 6 times a day rather than once every month or something. That's massive. And I think that taking that and trying to snowball it, that's going to leaven the loaf of your life. It's going to turn the tide so that it'll make it easier and smoother to initiate these other disciplines. That is my genuine belief. The reason I say that is because, my disciplines are not, I don't have at the moment like daily designated hour reading the scriptures or an hour standing or kneeling in prayer or anything. Obviously, I'd like to, ideally. But what I do have is I go to liturgy on Sundays, and we really don't miss, which is great. And that does reorient. And then when...
I guess you never miss, huh?
Yeah, I guess they never miss, huh? And, I've just seen that, and then also having... I don't know if we already talked about habit stacking, but anytime that you take something that you're already doing and then try to take the good thing you want to be doing and put it nearby or integrate it. So if you want to make sure to take your creatine or take your aspirin and you put it beside your toothbrush, you're going to brush your teeth every day. There's the creatine, there's the aspirin. So if you go on analogous here,
you could take your barbell and a couple plates and set next to your toothbrush every morning.
And in the bathroom,
go out to...
You're accidentally smashing up the porcelain in your bathroom left and right. But my thing is, if you put those good things, instead of putting yourself in harm's way, put yourself in blessing's way. So follow all those stinking, inspirational Orthodox saints, Holy Fathers accounts.
Yeah, get that algo on point.
Get that algo on point. So if you're going to waste time looking at Instagram, at least you have, let's say,
it really does get you.
They're
out of
trying to
some
show
bad
you
spots
boobies.
Sometimes, yeah.
If you unfortunately, if you have the displeasure of glancing past some unsavory, nasty bedroom things,
yeah.
then the next thing is a sober-minded monk dedicating his life to prayer and something that he said, or it's a picture of Christ.
Yeah, man, I don't even see them on Instagram. I just close my eyes. I'm so sick. They're right there. Oh, they're right there. They're literally constantly every time I close my
monks,
eyes.
you
it's
mean?
boobs. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean monks.
Yeah. That in life. So take that concept of the Instagram, putting yourself in blessing's way, and just try to put it in little places in your life, and don't worry so much about I'm so weak, I'm so undisciplined, I don't have it together, I should do this, should do that. The woulda, coulda, shoulda. That type of stuff really is the devil's game. It's not that repentance is not real and tears of repentance and all that, but I can confidently say that God's aim for you is not ultimately, maybe for a time, but not ultimately for you to pay the piper. What he wants is for you to get up and to learn to grow, to learn to walk, to become unfragile with temptation, with the sin that so easily entangles us. We got to run the race. And the only way to do that is to repent, turn back, but not to spend all day and night being like, I can't believe it. I got in the discipline. You keep saying that to yourself, I'll tell you what you get. You get worse, man. You get worse.
So it's like this. I think the wisdom of the fathers points to Satan, the adversary, setting up traps for you, and he's probably thinking 4 steps ahead, right? It's very much like a game of chess, where you are forking his rook and his queen, and then he has to make a decision here and all that kind of stuff. Or you're like presenting a gambit, right? And it's like Satan tries to tempt you with this one, right? And then you're like, you squash that one, and you say no. You say no to that temptation. And then right after that, he hits you with another one that's like a separate, like, if you say no, then he tempts you with pride to, like, because you said no. If you said yes to the initial temptation, then he's got the third one lined up right behind that, where it's like despair because you messed up. And it's always, he's a master chess player. He's always constantly setting up the pieces so that you've got, like, he's got his angles covered, and if it's not the bishop, it's the rook, and if it's not the rook, it's the knight. And so you got to be watching. You got to remain watchful. You got to waken up your noose. Waken up your noose. Waken up your noose. Honestly, if you're not think it, dream it, do it mentality on all of this stuff, then you're not going to make it. Enough said.
Yeah, enough said, man. I want a t-shirt from Walmart that says, I'm either training or thinking about training. Enough said. My give a damn is broke. Down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then on the back, it has Tweety Bird. And then on the side, it's like
Sylvester. Trying to get Tweety.
Yeah, zombie Sylvester, though.
Zombie, yeah. And
it
bag
says
of bacon.
Yeah, and then down here, there's like just a little tiny little Tasmanian devil, and he's got wearing sunglasses, and his says attitude. So we're gonna be producing that t-shirt. If any of the young guns out there that are into like design stuff, if you want to do some mock-ups for us, we'd be happy to see your work. Yeah,
send them in.
What's your t-shirt idea?
What's
just to
my
jazz
t-shirt
things up.
idea?
Yeah.
Tasmanian devil.
Already did that one.
Well then.
Quick, you have to make a t-shirt. It's the only t-shirt you're allowed to wear for the rest of your life.
All right.
And you have to wear it every day. What does the t-shirt say? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ask me what I ate for breakfast.
Okay, that's good.
That's the best I could come up with.
No, yeah, I put you on. You were.
I'm
under
always
the gun.
eating breakfast. I'm always interested in talking about it.
Yeah, and one of the good things that.
And I have to wear it every single day.
Yeah, one of the things I like about you is you work well under pressure. Because I give you 5 seconds and you came up with perhaps the best t-shirt idea.
Are there people who do work well under pressure?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Enough messing around. I'm going to go vote so hard this November. Rock the vote.
Rock the vote. Do you think Wilson Mandela was right whenever he said, be the change you want to see in the world around you?
Yeah, I do, in fact. And one of the other things that I want to say, because we haven't talked about President Joseph Robinette Biden enough on this show, and I think he deserves it, because he started off a pretty poor president. But I think that he heard the people, and he got his act together, and he brought out old Fighting Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard him, one of these journalists tried to come up and hassle him and ask him some question and be like, President Biden, whoa. And old Fighting Joe turned around and said, whoa, why are you asking me these questions? Or something like that. And then I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
He was like, huh?
Babe, why are you hitting yourself? And then when he hit the reporter with his own puny, incompetent hands, he said, that one hurt him, and then sauntered off. And when I saw that, I thought, now that's a president.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not a Trump guy after all.
I did just see an ad today. It's like people do the president impressions way too much, and it gets overdone and yada, yada, yada. But it's funny that he really has like a way about him. He's got like a definitive Joe Biden like way that he talks and things that he says. And like it was just a little YouTube ad, and it was Barack Obama, and he was standing there. It was them standing next to each other, and he was like, it's really important. I'm not going to do an impression. I'm terrible at impressions.
No, you were killing it just now.
Barack Obama was like, it's really important that you guys go out and vote. And then Joe Biden was like, yeah, guys, it's no joke. And that was literally his whole his whole like line. Yeah, come on, man, it's no joke.
Yeah,
that was the ad. But like, why does he? It's like he does. It's like either he does it, or I guess the people who train him or whatever. It's like feels relatable.
Do you think they train him with like treats?
I don't know. But it's like to be relatable. It's like to be like, oh, he means like he's talking casually to me, so he's not just some stiff he's not just some stiff politician. He's like, come on, man, it's no joke.
Yeah.
But he always says that in like debates and stuff like that. He's always like talking about how things are no joke.
Would you shut up? Remember when he said that?
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Dude, he's my hero.
Yeah, he's good.
Well, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap this one up and just
let's go ahead and give this one a rating.
Oh,
freaking
10.
3, 2, 1. 3 out of 10.
Oof.
Sorry, guys. We're not re-recording this.
No, but we could make a heck of a lot of reels out of it.
That's true. Ding.
Or at least some reels. I said we get my butt off of this hard chair.
Any parting wisdom?
It's been parting wisdom. Don't forget to say, it's been a cursed world when we're done.
Okay.
Parting wisdom, never ever give up. Never give up on your dreams.
Follow your heart.
Follow your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Yeah, the truth, the real treasure, it's in here. The real Declaration of Independence. I'll tell a quick story. This one was really good. I'll give Colin props. I was watching American Treasure, National Treasure. Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm. Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, and just sitting there and watching it on TV for the first time. I didn't catch it in theaters, but I was watching it on like TV, and in like 4:00 in the afternoon when I was in like late high school. And Colin like moseyed in halfway through and just sat there and didn't say anything, and we like almost finished watching the movie, and they got to what was supposed to be where the big treasure room is, and they got in there and it was empty. And I was like, what? And then Colin was like, but Colin said out loud at this point in the living room, what's this note? It says the real treasure was in our hearts all along. And I was like, he's funny. He's getting to be.
Turns out he's funny.
Yeah, it turns out he's funny.
Turns out he's got some balls on him.
Turns out.
You had to have some big balls to say that in the middle of a movie.
Yeah, I want to write a movie, and I want one of the characters to be like, oh, what a day down in the mines. Trish, pour me a beer and put some balls in it this time.
Put your balls in it this time.
Hey,
Trish, pour me a beer and put your balls in it for me.
Hey, Trish, You ever think about cleaning this dump? Get
You
me
forgot
another
to do
beer.
this. Give me a beer.
Hey, Trish. Yeah, I get to you. All right. Don't be busting my balls over this. I just want you to pour a beer in my glass and put balls into it this time.
I'm not trying to bust your balls. Did you ever see that tweet that video that somebody made that was like some I don't even freaking remember what it was. Never mind. Stupid. Never mind. I'm bailing. I'm bailing. I'm jumping out of this one.
Dude. This thing, like the alarm's going off.
This was a
panic alarm.
bust.
This was a bust, but I literally think we could bust out. We could bust out. Let's just wrap it.
What are we at?
It's been a cursed world. Just wrap it. Just throw some crazy music in this one the whole time. We'll do graphics. We'll do like a little Goku that's
We'll make it fun.
sound effects, fart sound effects the whole way through, just to keep things.
Well, guys, it's been another cursed world.
Well, guys,
Man, this one sucked.
dude.